Hey guys, we just started the New York session and my bias is pretty bearish, at least in the short term. I think we are going to take this low right here. Why? Because it was formed on Saturday 8 p.m. and the best lows like this one, the best highs, usually they are placed during the best sessions. For example, during New York session, during Daily Open, during London session sometimes, but during the weekend, not really. So every time I see a low or a high that was put during the weekend, I basically try to counter trade them because I think it's a good opportunity. And in this particular situation, let's go on a lower time frame. You can see that on the 1 hour, we formed a range. This is the low we're talking about. And then we formed this kind of sideways price action, this range, this very choppy piece of price action, not very nice to be honest. I mean, if you're trading in the middle, you're probably losing. So it's better in this situation to wait either for the top, so after taking these highs right here, or for the bottom. And simply forget about what's happening in the middle, because it's like flipping a coin. It can either goes up or down. So what I like to do in these situations is to wait for the top, in this case. So we took this high, and it was Sunday's high. And at the same time, we hit this order block, this big piece of price action right here from last week. And of course, we know that this piece of price action is going to act as a resistance because that's basically the area I was looking for. And we just entered New York session. I know that we have good opportunities that this high right here that we put is going to be important simply because it was put on New York session. And I'll show you how I entered. Usually in these particular situations, I don't enter immediately as we hit the level. I usually wait for a market structure change. And because I'm looking for a short, and because of the market structure, let's take the last piece of price action. Simply, higher high, higher low, higher high. What I need to see in order to enter is a break of market structure. So I need to see a low being broken. And this is the low, this is the first low being broken. And usually in these situations, I enter here, I placed a conditional order here, and stop loss at the high, and go from there. And because my bias at the moment is bearish in the short term, bearish to take this low, this is the first place where I'm going to take profit. I'm not going to take profit here, because very often if we start dropping, we're just going to get to the low. So I'm going to take profit here. I'm going to take 40%. And then I'm going to monitor price action and see if I can close the trade entirely, or if we get a breakdown, I can let it run. Let's see how it goes. All right, guys, a few hours later, at this point, I don't think that the market will be able to recover because this high was put in New York. So that's a very good time, very reliable. And then a decent drop followed. You know, as you can see, these are the top and bottom of this bear flag range, whatever you want to call it. And we went pretty low, and now we are getting closer to these lows right here. And usually when the market gets so low, it's not able to recover and change market structure and go much higher, simply because it doesn't have enough strength. That's what happens in my experience usually. So this is what I think it will happen. I think there are a few scenarios. One, we're going to create a clear lower high here. That's also going to give you a very good opportunity to short even more for lower, for more downside, to take finally this low right here. Or simply we're just going to take all the lows and drop and take the low. Easy, quick. But of course, Bitcoin doesn't like to be quick. So I think that a scenario which involves more waste of time, because that's what Bitcoin does very often, I think that's more probable, So it's either this lower high, or we can even take this low right here, and then retrace a little bit and then drop again. These are my three possible scenarios. I think if we get a lower high or a possible lower high, I think that's going to be a very good opportunity for a short, also because the ratio is very good. I mean, it depends on where price gets, but let's say it gets here, stop loss, the high, profit down there. So it's like 3 to 1 basically. And also price can continue down and break down possibly. So you can even get more than 3 to 1. And also, even from a daily standpoint, it looks like clearly that we came up, we took this daily high, and then after we were done taking all the stop losses, the market decided, hey, you know what? I'm gonna go lower, and now I'm gonna take stop losses on the downside here and probably here. That's what the market is doing. So this move up, it was not. It didn't look like a bullish move up because it was a liquidity grab. It grabbed all the stop losses and then came below this daily low, and then it kept dropping, and it lost the daily open, and now the candle is red. It looks pretty bearish because the wick, this wick right here, is pretty long, which shows a willingness for the market to push price down. And the body is red, so we are below the daily open, which is an important level for day traders, And now that we are getting so close to this low, the thought algorithm works. If we are close to a high or a low, it's gonna get taken, like 95% of the time. So if we take that, it's gonna be a lower low, or maybe another liquidity grab for more downside and possibly another very slow price action, and then eventually a lower high to take finally this low and go from there. I think until we take this low, the context is kind of like it's bearish, but it's not super clear. So I think when we take this low, we're gonna have a decent long opportunity if we bounce back up. We might get a very big opportunity to go much, much higher, like a 20-25%, and break out of this range. Finally, that's the level I'm waiting for. I was waiting for this level last week. We got a 6% bounce, and then we drop again. Now we're pretty much there still. So we might take this and then finally broke this resistance trend line and go higher, take this high and go from there. That's what I think it might happen. Of course, I'm not going to blindly long down here because I think it's very possible also to get a breakdown. I mean, until we get there, nobody knows. You can just speculate. You can say, oh, maybe it's bullish, maybe it's bearish, but who cares? We got to get there and see what happens. It can even be very bearish like this and go much lower, because at this point, if it breaks down, it's going to go much lower. Or it's going to take, again, these stop losses, and then it's going to reverse and turn bullish and take all these highs that contain a lot of stop losses. Look how many fucking highs we have, how many daily highs. We have an insane amount, I mean, which is actually a little bit bullish, because if we have so many stop losses on the upside, it makes me think that the market won't take them eventually. So this place is for a long opportunity, but we have to see how we get there. So let's see. And finally, many hours later, we finally took the low of this range right here. And I also shorted from here, and I'm gonna post a different video about that entry, because that's also interesting. At this point, I closed both my shorts because I think the momentum is ending. I closed one of the shorts almost at the bottom, around here, and another one around here. I can feel very satisfied about my trades, about how I played them, because my read was spot on. I thought we were gonna take these lows right here, and we did, and we actually did. I said, oh, this low right here is from Saturday, and the weekend is not a very good time to put important lows and important highs. So I followed my bearish bias and it worked perfectly. And now at this point, I am ready to long. I'm ready to judge a possible reaction at the previous day low right here. Today is Thursday. This low was put at 10:45 p.m. GMT plus 2 yesterday night for me. And in New York, possibly we are going to take it, or maybe we're going to continue this range right here and make some more boring price action like we did here. But you know, even when the price action gets boring, you need to be patient because eventually you get the big moves, you know. And that's how it works. Bitcoin ranges 80% of the time and it trends 20% of the time. So while it's ranging, the main goal is to not do anything stupid because you don't want to waste the profit that you make when it's trending. So that's my read at the moment. That's my plan. The short went very well. I am in no trade at the moment, and I'm waiting for this low, for the previous day low to be taken, and go from there. Thank you so much for watching. Please like the video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe. It's free. Thank you.